Regis Progray of the NO says that Adrien Broner looked like ish. He looked real bad and he should stay away from a fight with himself. We're going to talk about that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. To stay up to date for the latest and greatest in this wonderful sport of boxing, the sweet science, hit that bell icon. YouTube has been tripping, so some of you guys may have to subscribe. Then hit the subscribe button, unsubscribe, and resubscribe to kind of refresh it. Word to the wise. Now, Regis Progray, he did an interview, link in the description. And regarding Broner's last fight, he says, quote, Broner, he looked like ish. You know, he looked real bad. He definitely shouldn't be in the ring with me. I hope he does, but he looked bad, man. That dude Santiago, I mean, he was a C-level fighter, and it was a close fight. Broner definitely is supposed to stop somebody like that. To me, honestly, Broner, I think he's shot now. He's actually young to me, 31 in boxing, yet he's older. He's been boxing since 5, 6, 7 years old. So I think he's on the downside of his career now, right? Regarding his fight, he says, I can't say that he lost the fight, but it was very close. I never really score fights round by round with points and stuff. I don't really do all that. But it was a very, very close fight. It was a real close fight. I'm still optimistic because the fans want to see it. You know, every time somebody interviews me, they say Broner's name. And every time they interview Broner, they say my name. So I'm still optimistic that there's a possibility it can happen. I do think that it could happen. And I saw the ratings. The views didn't do good from the fight on Showtime. So I think he'll need somebody like myself that's a good fighter and is going to hype the fight, talk the talk, because, of course, I have a big, loud mouth, and he has a big, loud mouth, and we're going to be talking a whole lot of ish at the press conference. So I still think the fight could potentially happen. Progray says, Broner, he knows I'm too dangerous. He knows I'm very, very dangerous, and I'm going to hurt him. I fight to hurt, so he knows I'm really going to hurt him. But I think money-wise, if it's big enough, he can make a few dollars, a few $1 million. I think he'll just take it. But the money has to be right. If the money's not right, he's not going to come nowhere close to me. Wow. Oozing confidence, Regis Progray is. He's entertained fights, a rematch with Josh Taylor. He's also had this long kind of public beef, I guess you could say, with Jose Ramirez. That fight's coming up in May, so maybe that's a winner. As far as the Broner, you know, there was another fight on. I forgot what fight it was, but there was multiple fights on that night. So I missed the first 5 rounds of the Broner fight, covering the other fight in form of a Boxingego watch party. So I only seen kind of the back half of the fight. And, you know, Broner started to pick up the pace from what I understand. I heard some of the earlier rounds were some of the rounds that Santiago had earned. So I can't really make too much of a commentary on how Broner looked because I didn't see the fight in its entirety. And based on the reviews and, you know, the feedback that I heard, it wasn't something that I needed to go back and watch and, you know, study or whatever like that. I heard the performance looked like what it was. You know, a guy had to lose a lot of weight in camp and been on a pretty long layoff since the Pacquiao fight, and that's what it was. But, you know, that being said, a Progray fight would be a good fight, and the situation could be different because maybe it's just the cobwebs, you know. You can't really say Broner, if he starts fighting more frequently, you know, you have to understand timing is everything. So your timing could be off in the ring if you haven't fought. I think his layoff was 2 years. So I'm not going to overly harshly judge Broner on the Santiago performance. For one, again, I haven't even watched the whole fight. But beyond that, you know, last year was crazy for a lot of people. 2020, we lost a lot of great people. Black Panther, you know, Chadwick Boseman, Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, and so on and so forth. Alex Trebek. You know, it's just a crazy year. So a lot of people sat down, and Broner had been out for 2 years. So it's kind of hard. I mean, imagine you being on some kind of sabbatical or leave of absence at your job, and you're away for 2 years, and the everyday operations continue. It's just missing you. Or say you were in the military, because they have a Soldiers Act where if you're in the military, they have to hold your position if you get called out for duty. So if you had if you got deployed and you had a leave of absence and you want to come back to your job, then they have to give you that job. So imagine being deployed, being in the military, working at wherever, Lowe's, and then getting deployed and coming back 2 years later. I'm sure there's going to be changes. That's life evolution is going to come. So for me, you know, Broner, he had to face his demons in terms of, he said he wasn't drinking, touching the bottle. So I'm not going to overly judge that. You know, I actually salute Broner for being, man, you know, AB, alcohol bottles. I support anybody who's trying to do right. It's never too late to do right. You know what I mean? And if Broner, you know, it took all the ups and downs in his career for this moment to come, then, you know, I'm going to praise him. As far as the Regis Prograis fight, I don't know if it'll happen. We got to see what happens with Red Cash. That could be a good fight. That's going to be on Triller. So I guess it's one step at a time. You know, I've always wanted to see Broner versus Prograis, so maybe they can make that fight happen. But, you know, we'll see. Broner was putting on social media that he wants to stay active. Otherwise, he's going to have to look elsewhere for a fight. Again, I'm not going to put too much precedence in any fight happening, especially during these uncertain times. Let's see it. LSI. Let me know what you guys think. Broner versus Prograis. Will it happen? Can it happen? Should it happen? Who would you favor? All that in the comment section. Also, use my link and get TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome browser extension to help you level up your YouTube content. It does not matter what your channel is about. TUBEBUDDY can help. Use my link in the description. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.